Last night, students had a chance to question politicians.
Plus an Indian celebration on campus. Stay tuned. TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision News for October 17, 2014. I'm Khadijah Torbert.
And I'm Haley Greathouse. Thank you for joining us this evening. The NABJ Club held its annual resume workshop to help students majoring in journalism to build and create their resumes. Not only did the speakers at the workshop major in journalism, but they all were graduates of Troy.
The National Association of Black Journalists of Troy University held their annual resume workshop Wednesday afternoon, where students had the chance to get tips and information on building their resume and making resume tapes.
I'm here to speak for NABJ Resume Workshop, and I'm going to talk to everyone about my journey to becoming a producer for ABC Montgomery. Well, I guess this is important because I guess coming back and then they can see like how I've achieved my goals and I'm where I want. Well, I'm not going to say I'm exactly where I want to be, but being a broadcast major and how I got into the industry. And I'm just excited to be here to talk to everyone and tell them how important it is to just internships and network and just stay on top of it and just believe in yourself and you can achieve.
One student explains how the resume workshop gave him better understanding of how to create and what to do to his resume.
I learned several things about how to make my resume better and just how to improve it so I could be more successful in my career. And it just showed me plenty of things that I didn't really know about having a resume for real. Like it taught me like mostly the important things to put on there about how not just where you work, but like a lot of the organizations that you're involved in school.
And the speakers at the workshop were not just any speakers, but graduates of Troy University.
It was good to have students who went here to actually speak about it because we actually they experienced what we're doing right now. So that was really important because they actually came from where we are right now. So it proves that, we can actually be successful, just by listening to what they had to say at the workshop.
Xavier Harris, Troy TrojanVision News.
If any student would like to join the NABJ, the next meeting will be next Wednesday at 6 in Wallace Hall, room 107.
Troy University students had a chance to hear from some local candidates participating in the Alabama general elections at a forum held last night. The Students for Social Justice welcomed a pair of candidates to let students know who they might be voting for in the upcoming elections. Troy University alum and former Troy Trojan football player Eric Wright is a candidate for the U.S. House District 2 seat. Lawyer Joel Lee Williams is a candidate for the Alabama House District 89. They were both at the Meet the Candidates held Thursday night. Wright says that this was a good opportunity for the students to get involved in the election process.
College students are Americans too, and it's the people today that make the decisions for you tomorrow. A lot of students seem not to be able to enjoy life because of so many bills, especially student loan debt. So we want to alleviate some of that and make the American dream possible for people again, and that's what it's all about. So we want to make sure that we participate in because it's up to you and it affects you.
Alabama's general election will be held on November 4th.
The Troy community has a chance to view some Native American culture up close as the Creek Tribe holds a powwow on Troy University's campus. Clay Yeager gives us a look.
There are many Native American tribes throughout Alabama, and the Mushosh tribe is educating students on the community of Troy as well as university students through what the Mushosh call a powwow.
We like to communicate and fellowship with other people, and powwows, that's what we do with the powwow. That's when we open it up to the community and stuff to come out and see how the Native American people celebrated different events and did things, and it's just a wonderful opportunity.
Troy University is known for its cultural diversity on campus, and the powwow not only benefits the university in expanding their knowledge about Native American culture, but the community as well.
Well, it benefits the community of Troy. For number one, it gives them recognition of where they wouldn't got it before through the kids coming and all the schools learning, and it sets a good example that Troy State has a cultural awareness.
The powwow allows students and children to learn about Indian culture. As for what they have learned,
I like like learning about my culture and where I'm from because this is my first year coming, and I'm so grateful that I got to come.
Probably the dances, learning about the cultures and how it all worked back in the old days. My favorite part was about learning about how they made their tools and jewelry and stuff.
Not only did students learn about the Mushosh tribe, but Wright says it gives his tribe the chance to teach others how to show respect for other cultures.
Always be respectful of everybody's culture. You know, number one, that was the first thing I've ever did. Regardless whose culture it is, you know, you just respect it. And if you don't understand it, you know, don't laugh at it.
Clay Yeager, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The gates will open at 9 a.m. to the general public and grand entrance is at noon. Admission to the event is free.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. Alabama's unemployment rate has declined to 6.6%. Governor Bentley says September's rate is an improvement from 6.9% in August. Alabama's unemployment rate remains above the national unemployment figure of 5.9%.
An Autauga County man with ties to a white supremacist group faces more than 17 years in prison after being convicted on meth charges. Federal prosecutors say 52-year-old Mark Edward Elliott was arrested in March 2013 during a sweep of 15 people in 4 counties.
A 49-year-old woman is dead after stepping out of a moving recreational vehicle on Interstate 65 in Montgomery County. Sheriff officials say it's unclear why the woman might have left the RV. They say the father was driving and the mother was in the restroom when the woman opened the door and stepped out.
Still to come on TrojanVision News, the football team is at home again and looking to gain another victory. Amy Austin will have all the details on that matchup in sports.
Plus, the Ebola scare continues and the U.S. is taking action.
Physicians at the National Institutes of Health update the condition of 26-year-old Nina Pham, the infected nurse that was transferred from Dallas last night. I'm Craig Boswell in Bethesda, Maryland. That story coming up.
We're the stronger than we look type, the braver than you think type, the type that knows the time will come when we put type 1 behind us. We're the progress is inevitable type, the hopeful for a cure type, the type that will stop at nothing until type 1 becomes type none.
Food. It nourishes, brings us together, and adds flavor to life. That's why it's important to wash hands, surfaces, and fresh produce. Keep raw meat, poultry, and seafood separate from ready-to-eat foods like fruits and vegetables. And cook to proper temperatures using a food thermometer. Enjoy! And refrigerate leftovers within 2 hours. For more tips on safely preparing foods, visit homefoodssafety.org.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision News.
A spark is just what the football team needed, and they're looking to carry the momentum from the New Mexico State win to this Saturday's game. The team takes on Appalachian State as they look to gain another victory. Carrying momentum from last Saturday's game, the Troy football team is looking to gain another victory over a conference foe. The team takes on Appalachian State, another newcomer to the Sun Belt.
Appalachian State is a good enough football team to beat Troy. I hope that we're a good enough football team to beat them. We are a little bit beat up and got some repairs to make, body repairs to make on our football team, but we're working hard on that as we speak.
Players have been watching footage to see how good this new team is, and Terrence Jones said the main thing is they're fast.
Appalachian State, they run a 3-down front. They're really quick, and they're a really good team, really, and they're really fast. I watched some of them yesterday, and hopefully we can get after them. Hopefully we have a good game plan, but they're really fast. So that's what I've seen so far.
And this weekend's game is another home game, and the players know just how important that can be.
We love having a home crowd behind us, and anytime the fans can give us a boost in the game, we'll take it any day.
You got to learn how to win at home before you can win away. So hopefully we can win these games and learn how to win on the road and keep the momentum going.
It's always good to play at home and have your fans screaming and whatnot for you, and that you don't have to go to the other stadiums and play with the people right behind you, yelling out all type of crazy stuff.
The football team will take on Appalachian State on Saturday at 2 in Veterans Memorial Stadium. And before fans head into the stadium to enjoy the football game, the men's and women's basketball teams will be on Tailgate Terrace Saturday morning for Fan Day. Trojan fans can get the players' autographs, pick up posters of the teams, and meet the players and coaches. Fan Day will begin at 12:30 p.m. and will last until 1:45. The soccer team is back at home this weekend to close out their last 2 home games of the season. The team takes on Georgia State tonight and then Georgia Southern on Sunday. Georgia State is 4th in the conference. Last year, Troy fell to Georgia State 2-1 in double overtime. Troy then will take on Georgia Southern, who is currently 2nd in the Sun Belt. These 2 teams did not meet last year. And head coach Jason Hamilton knows this weekend will be tough, but home games have been successful.
Georgia State, they had a slow start to the season, but they've picked it up at the right time. I think they're 3-1-1 in the conference, so they're doing well. And then we're going to turn around and Sunday at 1 o'clock play Georgia Southern, who's sitting at first place in the conference right now. So I think they're 4-1. They just lost to Georgia State this past weekend. So we're at home and we've had some success at home. Both of those teams are coming off a 1-game weekend, so they're going to be fresh and they're going to be ready to go. We just have to be prepared for each game and come out and play strong.
The soccer team takes the field tonight against Georgia State with the game beginning at 7. The volleyball team returns to Troy after being on the road to Louisiana. Troy hosts UALR and UT Arlington over the weekend. Troy will host UALR in their first meeting of the season. The UALR Trojans are the leaders in the Sun Belt Conference with a record of 14-4, while their conference record is 8-0. The last time these 2 teams met, Troy was swept 3-0. Troy then hosts UT Arlington, who is 4th in the conference with a record of 6-3. Overall, the Mavericks' record is 16-5. Troy has already played UT Arlington earlier this season, where they fell 3-2 in 5 sets. And assistant coach Lizzie Cloud knows this weekend is going to be tough for the team.
It's going to be a tough weekend for sure. Both teams are stacked up pretty nice, and pretty sure Little Rock's, they're in leading spot in the conference, and we've already actually played Texas Arlington once at Texas Arlington, and which was another 5-set loss for us. So it's going to be, we'll have our work cut out for us for sure, but we know that going into it, and that's why once again just a lot of mental preparation and a lot of hard work coming in this week throughout the week.
Troy hosts UALR tonight in Trojan Arena beginning at 6 p.m. The cross-country team is back in action after a couple weeks of rest and preparation. The Trojans head to Tuscaloosa, where they will be competing in the Crimson Classic. The women's race will begin at 5 p.m., while the men won't start until 5:30. Several other teams that will be competing in the Classic are Southern Miss, Tulane, Mississippi State, and Tennessee. Troy's last competition was the JSU Foothills Invitational, where the men and women both came in 4th. The competition will begin this afternoon at 5 for the Trojans.